Hey everyone, welcome back to Lo-Casa, and today I'm going to be breaking down our newest subject to opportunity. This is based in Biloxi, Mississippi. This is a property where, again, it is not an arbitrage. I know that a lot of people that come onto our channel, onto our site, they're looking for arbitrage rental opportunities. Well, this is actually a purchase opportunity, but one of the great things about our company is we do almost everything creatively, and this is technically a creative finance transaction. So subject to, if you're not familiar with it, we definitely recommend you do your research. It's basically the ability to take over someone's existing mortgage without having to assume the loan, without having to go out and get your own loan, without having to use your own credit. You basically are getting into it for a lot less cash than you normally would. You're able to take over the existing payments, potentially help out the seller if maybe they're in a distressed position. But long story short, this is an opportunity for you to own a property with very little cash and no credit. So just jumping into it, some of the photos, it is a fully turnkey, ready to go property. It's in great condition. It's already vacant, so the sellers have moved out. So this is the front of the home. It has a 2-car garage and a driveway. Backyard is nice and spacious. You can do a lot back here. Nice kitchen, appliances. Obviously, this is not something that looks outdated or older. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and we show the projections for a short-term rental in the following screenshot, which I'll go into more. Now, just looking at the location, overall, it's in a great location. From what we understand, it's in a quiet neighborhood, but still fairly close to everything. And we just have a short description, and we also are going to have this video breakdown of the deal linked here for anyone to go back and review. Again, this is a subject to deal. The remaining loan balance is $207,000. Their interest rate is 6.25%. Entry cost, this is going to be your cash to the seller, assignment, and commissions. It's about $34,000 before closing costs. Their monthly PITI, principal, interest, tax, insurance, is a little over $1,900. The loan type is VA, and the maturity date isn't for almost 30 years. Bed bath, like I said, 3.2 square feet. It's almost 2,000 square feet, so that's nice. Year built, 1997. It's obviously been renovated since then. HOA, no. Turnkey, ready to go. Going into the comps, so if you were to run this as a long-term rental or even rent by the room unfurnished, you're looking at about $1,900 to $2,000 per month, which you would really kind of be breaking even. Again, it depends on what you're looking for out of your investment, out of your asset. If you want that equity, if you want the tax benefits, if you just want to be able to hold something, then this is the property to do it. However, that doesn't mean that you have to lose money on the property. That doesn't mean you have to only break even. What you could do is you could always turn this into a short-term rental, which we're big at Lo-Casa. Most of all of our properties are going to be utilized for short-term rentals, or a midterm rental. So in this market, it still is a popular market. It's near Gulfport as well, casinos. It is a fairly popular touristy area in the South. So short-term rental, you are projected to bring in about $3,500 per month in revenue. After you pay your expenses, you're probably going to cash flow about $1,000, which is great, especially if you are not only owning this property, but you're making a good amount of cash on cash return just based on what your entry fee is. But when we did some in-depth comps, which sometimes we do on purchases, it actually showed that you could bring in closer to $4,000 a month in revenue. So again, great opportunity to be able to own an asset, run it as a short-term rental, cash flow the property, and ultimately scale your portfolio. So again, the key features, 2-car garage, large fenced backyard, which we went over. You could do different rental strategies with this property, and it's turnkey, so no rehab. It's a regular single family home. They're looking to close as soon as possible. So if you're interested in moving forward, we already do have an offer on the table. We are considering others until the end of the month. So if you did decide that you'd like to move forward and we went with your offer, we would just want an EMD of $2,500. So that is basically to secure the property. You can then go and do an inspection, but we are looking to close by the end of the month. And then air conditioning, no HOA, washer and dryer, and all appliances will be included. So if we just go based off of the projections that I showed you, the $3,500 per month in revenue with $1,900 in PITI, with a 15% buffer, you're looking at about $1,300 in monthly profit. I mean, this is a great opportunity. Again, if you wanted to run it as a long-term rental, that's completely up to you. It all is about your investing style, what your goals are. If you turn this into a short-term rental, you can do extremely well. And again, this is subject to property. You're able to take over someone else's existing mortgage without having to assume it, qualify, get a loan, use your own credit, none of that. So if this is of interest to you, you guys have questions or want to learn more, just feel free to reach out, and we'll see you on the next one.